Hey creative people and welcome to my channel. My name is Sherry Turquoise and today I am actually going to be continuing editing my book Dying Rounds. I'm just about done reading in the book part, so I just got like four to six more chapters to highlight, and then I will be making a whole lot of changes in the book part on the computer. Let me know what you guys are going to be working on. And as we're doing that, I'll get the timer going. Well, not going, I'll get it ready. And for those of you that have not watched my video or seen yesterday's live stream, I am currently looking for beta readers. This is a 18 years and older, preferably book, as is a horror bracket dash paranormal dark fantasy novel with the word count 95,800, I believe. Give me 1 second, I'll pull it up to get the actual correct number. There is going to be roughly 24 to 30 chapters of it. And the book is about Tayci, Elo, and Ela and the council members trying to save the Browns and try to figure out why the Browns are dying. Yeah, it's mostly about Elo, Tayci, Ela, and the council members trying to save the Browns and trying to figure out what's causing them from dying. And during all that, they also need to keep the humans in the dark. However, the humans are being killed off by a demon, which is being summoned by someone. And the hunters are also dropping dead, so it's up to Tayci to figure out who's killing off the hunters, who is summoning the demon, and what is causing the Browns from dying, and prevent a whole lot of wars from happening. So that is basically a summary of what the book is about. And she has to keep the humans in the dark because the humans do not know that the supernatural exists on Earth. This book is in a multi-point of view. Right now it is in, I believe it got narrowed down to anywhere between 9 and 12 point of views. However, some of those point of views only have one chapter. Anyways, the word count is 95,908. Hello, Ken, Ela. How are you? What are you going to be working on? And how are things? So I do have the link in the description for the beta reader form. The last day to sign up is January 31st because the beta readers will get their copies of the book on February 1st. And I would like feedback on March 31st or even before. And each chapter will have a questionnaire for the book, if that makes sense. And Ela says, good. I just finished school. Awesome, awesome. Wait, school for the day or school in general where you actually graduate? I know, that's pretty cool. So I'm not seeing any comments, other comments, so we'll just hop right into a sprint. And it will be a nice little warm up of 15 minutes. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Happy creativity, everyone! So that was time for our first sprint. How did everyone do? I got a chapter edit. The chapter that I edited was actually on the shorter end. However, the next chapter that I need to edit is actually going to be a really long one. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know in the comments how you did. Kelly says, sure, I'm going to join the Discord group. Awesome, awesome. My response, and Rainy saying, hey, hey, I was already sprinting when you went live. Awesome, awesome. My second question is, have you published a book before? For me, personally, no. Technically, no. Unless you want to count articles, then yes, I have published those before. Well, one anyway. And it was with actually a support group where I published that. Actually, now that I think about it, all my other books have either been unpublished, but people have read them. Rainy says I did 432. Awesome, awesome. So the Dying Realms is actually going to be my debut novel, the first novel I have actually published, which I am very nervous and excited about. Rainy says, how do you decide when to schedule your live streams? Actually, right now, live streams are not being scheduled because normally on Thursdays, my live streams are happening in the evening. Right now, I am taking a little bit of a gamble doing it in the afternoon. Was today because there's still a possibility where I might get called in for the evening shift for work. But how I normally schedule when everything is back to normal for me, what I did is I went on my Instagram account and asked to see if what days work best for people, and then the days that they picked that got the most votes are the days that I do a write-in live streams. And then from there, I would write the day down on another post and go, what time works best, morning, afternoons, or evenings. And then I go by that, whichever amount on that day gets the most. Now those evening, afternoon, and evening, I will do a third post to see what exactly would work for that day particularly, which is today, because today got evening and afternoon. I went on Instagram post, and most people picked evening that works best for them to watch a live stream. Right now, during probably this whole month and the last month, my schedule for live streams are just a little bit out of whack right now. So my scheduling is not really here. Like I just started doing this live stream. I created this live stream like 10 minutes before 3, not no 6 minutes before 3 o'clock. So Normally, I'm better on the scheduling section than what I am. I hope that helps. Really also know this is my first book I'm writing that I've taken really serious. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I know what you mean by the serious part. And Kalina has to go. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you soon, or in my next live stream, or in the future. Stay true to yourself and stay unique and have a good day or evening. And on that note, let's do another sprint. This one will be on the longer end. It'll be 30 minutes, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Happy creativity, everyone! Sorry about that, folks. That was time for our second sprint. How did everyone do? So I got like a page or two to edit with the long chapter, Luke's point of view, which is chapter 21, I believe. No, 23, and I realized I started his point of view in a third person point of view, and then I changed that to a first person point of view. Like at the beginning, it starts off with a first point of view, and then it got converted over to a third person point of view. And then somewhere during the communication, it got changed to a first person point of view again. So I gotta fix that. That's a whoops section. So Rainy asks, does your family watch your channel and does it make you nervous or feel weird? Now I did answer this as best as I could in text. However, my text can actually sound extremely blunt. So to put it in a less blunt form, I'm not too sure if my family watches my channel. I know they did in the past. I don't know if they still do. I do know they follow me on the Instagram account. However, my type of videos are something they would not normally watch unless maybe it's my vlogs or the creative side of the videos. But for sure, I know they won't watch the learning videos, the write-in text videos. And as for does it make you nervous or feel weird? I used to think, if this is referring to the YouTube thing, I used to feel nervous and weird recording, but not anymore. I'm sure if I took a break from both streaming and videos, I probably would feel weird. Well, no, I can actually answer that. I have felt weird again when I started recording videos because I went such a long time without recording them, like learning videos and that, so it just felt on a strange end. So I really hope that makes sense. The videos that I do know, if they were to subscribe to a channel that I were to do, it will probably more than likely be the gaming channel that I'm planning on doing soon. So I hope that really helps. I'm not too sure. Alright, and 167 words. Awesome, awesome. How do you write multi-point of view? Don't really know how they explain this one. Every writer does it differently. Multi-point of view is where there's more than one character for a main story plot, like where they have their own story and it interlines with the main plot. How do you write multi-point of view? Some writers do the multi-point of view. I really don't know how they explain this one. Okay, I think I have an idea. So some writers use names on the top part of the paragraph or to begin the chapter and let us know what character we are on. And then at some point in time, whether it's another chapter or a couple of paragraphs down, they'll have another name for another character. So let's say you go from a female's voice to a male's voice, which is two very different ones, or even a happy, cheerful person to someone that has depression. Again, two very different point of views. So basically, you write from one main character's point of view to a certain extent, and then you write another point of view from another character's point of view, along that connects with the plot. It's easier on the readers with the multi-point of views to do it by chapters, because then their brain, as they're reading, their brains can adjust to the new point of view versus paragraphs or not even giving them a warning. It's hard on the brain cells, and it sometimes, if not most of the time, kicks the reader out of the story because they don't know whose point of view they're reading anymore, because there's no name letting them know. That sounds like it don't make sense. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find. So here are some tips on how to write multi-point of view. I'm just going to share this screen real quick. Oh no. Never mind. Writers, that's writer's edit. So this is their definition. The first tip is make sure you have good reason to be writing in multiple point of views. So if there's a way for you to avoid it, do so. Basically, if your story calls for multiple point of views, then that's awesome. But if your story does not call for it, best to avoid it. Ensure each point of view character has their own distinct voice. So that's another thing. If you have characters that have remarkable similar voices, readers are going to get even more confused on who they're reading. Don't have too many point of view characters. Yeah, I kind of didn't go by the third one there. It's normally recommended to have only no more than 4 point of view characters. My book has about 9 to 12 point of views, characters' point of views. And yeah, I'm well over the typical number, but however, they do help with the plot. And each one has their own story, which connects with the plot. I stick to one chapter per point of view approach, which I do agree with this one, that it does make things easier for the readers. Number 3, I'm iffy on because I did not go by this one, and some writing rules, if not most of them, are meant to be broken. So I do have a light bulb that says, trust your crazy ideas. So if your gut instinct tells you to use more than 4 characters' point of views, then go for it. And you can just edit them out as you're editing and see if you really need them. Choose carefully which point of view you write each scene from. And then choose carefully which point of view you write in each scene from. That is understandable because I don't know how many other writers do this. This makes the most sense because if you go from one point of view to another point of view, and the second point of view character backtracks to show how that character got to the main character's location, then you are kind of repeating a scene, which I have done a few times in my book. And number 6, consider choosing one main point of view character. So who is the absolute main character? And then who are they're main characters, but they're not the main focus kind of thing. I don't know. Writer's Digest. They're a pretty good website. And what if you have like 5 or 6 point of views? Do you still alternate chapters? Yes. I highly recommend that because it makes things easier on the readers. And well, you can do it. You can do more than one character's point of view in one chapter. It's just really not recommended because it is harder on the reader's brain cells to click that, oh, we have changed a character's point of view, even with the name on the saying that this is a different character's point of view. For Diane Rounds, I'm going to use that for an example. When it originally got finished, it started off with 15 characters' point of view. Each chapter was based on a character's point of view, so that means 15 chapters from just introducing the characters. However, as I'm editing this, I chunk it down or narrow it down to 9 to 12 points of views. I will have the total count for point of views when I am 100% done editing. I'm pretty sure I'm closer to 10 than 9. Yeah, 9 to 12 points of view. Because I also have the villain's point of views in the book as well. What if you have like 5 or 6 point of views? Do you still alternate chapters? Absolutely, I definitely recommend, even if it makes your book on the thicker end and longer end, it's still recommended for chapters. Out of the 5 or 6 point of views, it all depends on who is your absolute main characters, and then it goes down from there. So the other 4 to 5 characters would be like sidekicks, or they're main characters, but not as main as your first one that you picked. So I'm gonna use Diane Rounds again. The prologue starts with a villain, and then chapter 1 starts with Ryrish. Ryrish is actually not my absolute main character. Tayci is, but the book needed to start with one of my second main characters, or one of my other alternate main characters, before it actually met. It's the absolute main one. Rini also asked, do you do a lot of descriptions in your first draft, or do you beef it up in revisions? That is, I'm going to say that's probably different with each writer. For me, I'm a little bit of both actually. Depending on which scene I'm on. There is such a thing as too much description, so I'm even taking away some descriptions out of my book too, because it's too much detail, unless it's a gory scene that needs to be detailed. So depending on the scene, if you're doing like a horror death scene, let's say a demon's eating someone, then the more details on that one, the better kind of thing, because then we're seeing the image in our heads clear as day, versus like a mystery book with a murder scene. There is not as much description in it as a horror scene that's getting people spooked. I don't know about the other genres. Fantasy, I know, can go quite a bit in description as well. It will all depend on the writer. First draft, I say get as much words as you can, or as some people call it, font dumping. Just get all the words you can onto the draft. And as you edit, some scenes you might have to beef up, while other scenes you might have to take away words. Da, 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 da. This is 2018. Oh, that's a competition. Every point of view should enrich the story in some way. Readers need to care about the characters they're reading about. If you're going to use multiple points of views, every character should have a purpose, which is another thing. Does each of your characters that you're planning on doing a separate point of view on, do they have a purpose? Do they have a goal? Do they have a fear? Do they have their own story? Like, do they have enough to be their own point of view for a character? Perhaps they can add objectivity to the story or humor. My viewpoint characters all tend to have their 5 minutes on stage, even if that means sacrifice a bit of intimacy with my protagonist. As long as you create strong, interesting characters worth rooting for, you can't go wrong. All point of views should have distinct voices and their own mixed bag of fears and beliefs and goals, which I strongly do believe on that one. Although that can be a lot harder said than done. And then each point of view should have its own separate chapters, so definitely keep them in the separate chapters. So not only will this help prevent readers' confusion, it will give readers a better chance to bond with these characters. You can also add suspense by leaving characters in a heroine possibility life-altering situation when you move on to the next, and readers will be eager to keep reading to find out what happens next. But always remember that every scene, no matter which point of view is being used, must drive the story forward and connect in some meaningful way to the other points of view. What was the other one? So all point of views should have their own voices. They must stay true to themselves throughout the novel, which means you, as the writer, must know who they are. They must have their own backstory and experience their own journey as they assist the protagonist. And what is their goal and purpose? For instance, I love including younger characters in my novels. It's a way to attract younger readers and provide a more youthful worldview. If you don't have teenagers hanging around your house, it's important to do your research to get a handle on their perspective. Otherwise, readers will lose interest, become frustrated, and skim the pages to reach a more interesting viewpoint, or worse, stop reading the book. We already read that one. Supporting characters' arc should advance the core conflict. Although each character will have his or her own set of problems and fears and desires, each story arc must intertwine in some way with the protagonist's goal to resolve his or her core conflict. Otherwise, you can end up with multiple novels crammed into one. There must be overlap even if the outcome is not satisfactory for every character. Example, someone ended up in jail. And then there's experiment with different perspectives. Which point of view will add the most to the scene? Write or outline the scene in more than one character's viewpoint before deciding which way you want to go. When locating the serial killer's whereabouts, would the scene be more interesting told by the private investigator whose career depends on finding the missing child? Or would the suspense and tension be ramped up a notch if her new schizophrenic sidekick happened upon the madman a few hours earlier? I couldn't even pronounce that name. Okay, gotcha. And hey Shay with the hobbies, how's it going? How are you? What are you gonna be working on today? We just had some questions about multiple point of views, and I was just trying to help them out. So on that note, we'll go into a sprint, and we will do a 20-minute sprint. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Happy creativity, everyone! Okay, so that was time for our third sprint. We had got time for one more. How did everyone do? Rini's is saying hi to shares the hobbies. I got 2 to 3 pages highlighted that I need to do changes or get rid of some words. And the third question is, have you wrote a story in multi-point of views? I actually just started writing it in multi-point views and realized how much easier writing a story is that way. Don't get me wrong, there are still parts of multi-point views that can get you stuck in the writing process. However, I just find it so much easier to write in multi-point view stories, or at least the ones that I've been writing. Excuse me. And since the day is basically done, have you learned something new today? Rainy did. I did 219 words. That's awesome, Rainy. Awesome, awesome. I'm trying to think if I've learned anything new today. Oh yeah. Was watching actually one of the live streams not that long ago, right before mine actually, and I honestly thought this one person, while they were talking, was holding a live animal when really it was a stuffed animal. So I learned that some stuffed animals can look so real, like a real pet, that you cannot tell the difference between a stuffed animal and a real pet, especially if they hold them a certain way. So that was interesting. I just couldn't figure out if that was a cat or if it was a stuffed animal. I just could not figure it out right away. I finally figured out that it was a stuffed animal, but it took like 5 minutes to realize this. They're getting pretty good at making their stuffed animals look pretty realistic. Or whoever the companies that are making stuffed animals look realistic, they're getting pretty good at it. So we are going to do our final sprint, and it will be a nice little cool down. I'm not seeing any other comments coming in. I'm not seeing any questions either, so we will just go right into a sprint. So we'll do a 15-minute sprint and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Happy creativity, everyone! Okay, so that was time for our fourth and final sprint. How did everyone do? I am just actually was looking at some logo art designers to see if they can make a logo. I'm just actually talking to one right now. However, I need to think things over. If you guys hear these things, then that will be why. For my other channel, for the gaming channel. Hello, Divided by Sign. I'm really sorry that you just caught the last sprint there. She was a hobbit asking Rini how she is doing, and then there's Di Di Dial Rob. Hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Excuse me, I don't think I ever seen you here. Welcome, welcome. Sorry that you missed these sprints. And Rini says, I'm good. I'm going to be starting up my channel back up pretty soon. Just nervous because I have kids and trying to find right time to stream and vlog. That would all depends on your schedule, I guess. And what time works best for you and the kids. I'm sure if you spoke to them, they will understand. Maybe that's just me. I can't talk 100% from because I don't have kids. I do have a cat though. And 121 words for Rainy. Awesome, awesome. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end this live stream here. Thank you for watching. Click the bell icon and the subscription button to get notified of all my posts. Because I post videos normally on Wednesdays to Saturdays. However, right now they're just being posted once a week until further notice. And I do live streams every single day, anywhere between 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I also upload bonus videos all the time, so definitely click that bell icon to get notified of all my posts. And click the like button, leave a comment down below. Follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, and you can also find me on Discord. Come join the Creative Server Discord group. There you get to meet new people, learn new things, join a book club, and help each other out. If you wish to be a co-host, just come message me on any of those accounts as well. And I believe that's it. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, stay true to yourself and stay unique. Bye.